It's Tuesday already, y'all. Can y'all believe it? Welcome, welcome, welcome to another Live at 5, where we teach you the organic approach to making money online. We are super excited today because we
Yeah.
have amazing, amazing content for you today. Oh my goodness, Takesha, you want to tell them about it?
Oh my goodness. Well, yeah. We got to do a little house cleaning, little housekeeping
Oh,
first,
oh,
D. We got to
okay.
do some housekeeping first, D. And we can't just dive right
Oh,
in. That's always good if you want to dive right in. But we got to tell the people. We got to welcome the people. We got to let them know, our names and where we from, all that good stuff. And we want you guys to do that too. If you guys are on here live, do that, right? Go ahead and put hashtag live. Let us know where you're tuning in from because we love to know where you guys are watching us from. And if this is a replay for you, do the same thing. Go ahead and put hashtag replay and let us know where
absolutely.
you're joining us from, right? So this is my beautiful co-founder and co-host, Daria Jackson Leganier from the Chili.
Hello.
Yes. And I, of course, am Takesha Wyatt from the sunny Florida. But of course, I'm here with Daria. Daria's birthday is tomorrow.
Woo-hoo!
We are excited
I'm
and we have
super
been
excited.
enjoying ourselves. Let me tell you, I'm glad I packed some warm clothes.
Yes. Don't worry, I got you. I got you.
I'm telling you, see, Daria has all the jackets, right? All the jackets and the shoes. I don't have to pack those. Man, we wanted to bring you guys on because guys, you know how important it is to be prepared at the end of the year, right? Because you work so hard all year long making money, right? And then at the end of the year, you have to make sure you have all of your tax information together, right? You have to make sure you have all those receipts because you got to have receipts. Receipts is the only thing that matter nowadays. So I know you guys recognize Dr. Katrina Ferguson. Dr. Katrina Ferguson is no stranger to online success made simple.
Oh,
We
she
had
is.
her on here before, what? And we interviewed her, and it was phenomenal. You
It
guys
was.
might not remember, Dr. Katrina Ferguson is a tax professional, right? She's a certified tax professional. She's a motivational speaker. She wears many hats, right? She's a coach. The list goes on and on and on. And this woman is doing it. She is very knowledgeable when it comes to tax preparation. Of course, she does prepare taxes as well. So, guys, keep that in mind. And we're going to let Katrina go ahead and just let you guys know the importance of being prepared this season. Hey,
Absolutely. But
hey, how you doing,
before you start, Doc, I just want to say to everyone that's watching us on YouTube, those of you that are watching us on LinkedIn, our page, our group, we just want to say hello. We didn't forget you. And yes, we asked Dr. Katrina to come and show us how to prepare and what we need to do to prepare. And we're just so excited that she said yes, because this is the time, y'all. The time is near. And if you're not getting your stuff together, I don't know. So, Dr. Katrina is going to bring it today so we'll know exactly what it is that we need to do. So, Dr. Katrina, do your thing, girl.
Boom. Welcome,
How are
welcome.
you guys doing? It's so good to see you. Thanks for having me back. You're right. This is that time of year. This is that season where business owners are either confident and comfortable going into next year or they are shaking in their veritable boots. Because if you haven't been keeping up with it all year, then it's going to show up next year. And most of the time, it's going to show up in your bottom line
Mm,
in terms of what your income looks like and what it could look like. You know, before I even get started, for those of you who don't know me, I am Dr. Katrina Ferguson, and I've actually been in the tax business for more years than I'm willing to admit, right?
mm,
It's hard to have been here for 15, 20 years if I'm only 39. In any case, y'all pray for me. I still lie about my age.
Okay.
But I got involved. I was helping a friend. I was kind of like the wizard. I was in the basement helping a friend with, do some tax strategic planning for some of his clients. And even though he wasn't the person that was doing my taxes, I fast forward a little bit. I was working in this company. I got started, me and about 4 of my friends. And we were running around the country building this network marketing company, something I believed in, something I could align with. I was telling everybody, and literally had some very strong goals set up. I wanted to be the first Black 6-figure income earner as a single person, a single woman. Wanted to be the first Millionaire Club member as a single woman. So we were killing it. We were out there just within 3 years, we were all at 6-figure incomes. And I'm talking good money.
Yeah.
What happened in the process, though, is we didn't know anything about taxes. It never occurred to us that we needed to do some tax planning and have a strategy for all this new money. None of us had ever made this kind of money before.
Wow.
So I remember the year we were like, okay, who's doing your taxes? Everybody was asking. There's about 4 of us. We all went to the same guy who did our taxes. We were geeked. We got refunds and everything. We also got audited. Every single one of us.
Wow.
They got correspondence audits. That's what I call them now that I know what they are. Because back then it was like, to send your receipts in, prove this and prove that. Me, I had to physically go into the IRS office to meet with these people. Now, what do you do in a situation like that? The first thing you do is you call the person who did your taxes and you say, what's up? Like, I'm confident that we did the right thing because I'm not trying to cheat the IRS. I gave you the records and the reports. I kept track of stuff. I've been keeping track of every penny that comes in since 2004. So what happened here? Of course, I couldn't reach him to say any of that. None of us could. So now we're running around trying to find somebody that's going to help us. And in my specific situation, the IRS said that I owed them $61,000 in taxes.
Wow.
It was a good year, y'all. It wasn't that good a year. Right? I should owe 61 grand. So I had to take the matter into my own hand, and I started studying the tax codes. The tax code is the size of 11 Bibles, right? So I'm looking for what specifically aligns with home-based business owners. What applies to my situation? What receipts do I need? How do I prove this, that, and the other thing? This went on for about a year. And I remember like it was yesterday, packing up my rollerboard suitcase with 13 binders and going over to the IRS office to meet with this auditor. I walked in, she looked at me like, what is all this? I said, well, you asked me to prove my expenses. This is proof. And she was like, nobody ever does that. First time for everything, right? We go through, she's so serious. She's like, let me see. She's looking at a bank statement. I want to see the receipt from Office Depot that is equal to what's right here on this statement. And you better not even have a candy bar on here. How serious she was. I said, well, why? Yeah, she was not playing, but I had everything in order. So they took everything and she says, well, we'll send you a determination letter. 3 months later, the official definition of stress, I get a letter saying that not only do I not owe them $61,000, but they owe me $1,600.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
I'm like, yes, because my friends were paying, my payment's $2,500 a month. They're paying stuff, but I wasn't ever trying to cheat them. I just didn't know what I didn't know.
Exactly.
I'm thinking, okay, cool, be alone now. No, they came back the next year too. This time they said it was $34,000 I owed them. And it was so funny because at the end of that audit, the guy looked at me and the last receipt that he was asking for was my giving statement because I had given like $15,000 to my church over the year. And he was like, prove it. And I was like, well, here's the canceled check. He's like, no, I want a letter from your church. So those of you who are
and that's the same thing that happened to me.
Administrators, make sure that if you're giving people these giving statements, that your stuff is straight, because he took my giving statement and went back to the church to make sure their stuff was straight. In any case, the last thing he asked me, he said, well, is there somebody that you live with that pays all your bills? I said, no. He said, then how is it that you're living with this tax return? I said, it's amazing how the Lord provides. And left right there. They owed me $800 after that exchange.
Mm.
Now, what you'll find about Katrina Ferguson in my life, any business that I've ever started, any endeavor I've gotten involved in, it was designed to solve a problem for somebody. Because I realized if I was going through this, then there are other people going through the same situation. And that's literally how I got started with a brick and mortar type of a tax business. I had too many friends making too much money too fast and not knowing what to do with it. So we don't just help people with their tax preparation, we help them with their strategies for maintaining the majority of their wealth. I actually teach a tax academy this time of the year to get people ready for tax time next year. It gives them the opportunity to either become a tax professional or simply understand their own taxes. Mm-hmm. And I was talking to them about certain situations and scenarios. You've got your kids going to school, getting a 1098-T from the university, right. But the laptop that you bought them to go to school is not tax deductible. Or is it? It really depends, right? So that was my question to the class. I said, how do you make that tax deductible? And they just looked at me crazy. I said, well, you should have hired your college student years and years and years ago. So you can literally hire your children, pay for some of their day-to-day necessities, and those things become tax deductible. You can pay for their uniforms for school within an employment agreement, and now it's tax deductible. There are a whole lot of steps to making that happen, but I just want people to know that it's possible. Because if you know that it's out there, then you can begin to do the research and have a conversation with your tax professional, because your tax return is only as thorough and complete as the person who's doing it. Right. And I'm going to tell you, I had a tax person do my first one. After the first audit, I paid a CPA and still got audited again. And I thought, when I went in there and I said, hey, my taxes were done by a CPA, that should cure it. I paid them in $900. And they were like, we don't care who did it. We care who signed it.
Right.
So you're responsible for what's in your tax return, whether you understand it or not.
So true.
And I think that is one of the major things, Dr. Katrina, that a lot of people don't understand. They feel like they had somebody else prepare it. That person is responsible as well. But no, it's your tax return. You can't turn around and be like, well, so-and-so told me I could write that off. So
you better have a line and a number from the tax code for it. You better be able to prove it. Because I literally, even in my audit situation, she was saying, that's not deductible. I'm like, yes, it is. She's like, it's not. And I was like, well, get your tax code. And it's this number right here. I mean, I literally had to go to that level of detail with her.
That's right.
But if you don't know what you don't know, right?
Exactly.
They say you want to hide something important from someone. Where do you put it?
In a book.
In a book.
Absolutely.
And that's where it is. And then people are asking, well, why does Congress give even business owners all of these benefits? Well, think about it. As industries shut down and close up, who's hiring people? If you have a business, a home-based business, a network marketing or direct sales business, you can literally, if you get fired, take your time now, just pour it into that business and create income without having to go to unemployment and those types of things. Small businesses outside of government is the largest employer of people. So they want to give you everything that you need to be successful in this arena, but we don't know about it because we won't read about it. We won't go to people who have studied it. So we specialize in working with home-based business owners and network marketers and real estate investors, all things and industries that we in this office and the offices around the country have been a part of. So when you're choosing your tax professional, just like when you choose your cardiac surgeon, you want to make sure that they are credentialed and have experience in the area that you absolutely are building or working in, right? Because who can read 11 Bibles every year? Because every week, they're adding 50, 75 pages to this tax code. Yeah. And even if you could read them all, who's going to remember it all?
It's true. Right. They change every year, the tax laws.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, we'll start tax season mid-January. By April, we'll have several software updates because of the tax changes. It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. But we make a lot of mistakes, when we're doing this. We don't tend to take into account that if you treat it like a business, it'll pay you like a business. But if you treat it like a hobby, it's going to cost you like a hobby. And
Hmm.
the IRS cares. They want to know, is it a
Yeah.
business or is it a hobby?
Yes.
If it's a business and you're taking losses for the last 20 years, how long before they start asking questions?
Right.
Now, there's always a caveat to that. I have a client who's a sports manager. He's an agent. So he pours and pours and pours for 4 or 5 years. So he's got negative tax returns until that young man gets picked up by a baseball team, and then there's $1 million of inflow. So there are situations like that, but you've got to understand how to manage them, or at least have someone who's working with you who does. But I
Wow.
love what you said in the beginning. You were talking about receipts. Documentation beats conversation. They don't really care what you say. They care what you can prove,
Right.
right?
Everything.
You can
Right.
prove. And
And
today there are so many apps and opportunities to take advantage of that. You can take a picture of a receipt, have a digital copy forever, but we just aren't using them as business owners. I don't understand. I don't
Right.
understand.
So how do we prepare ourselves for such a time as this?
Mhm.
You know,
Well,
as
first of all, you need to understand what's deductible and what isn't,
mm,
right? And this actually comes with a mindset shift. I was talking to one of my clients and I was looking over his mileage records. And I said, I know you do way more than this. And he's like, what do you mean? I said, do you ever go to Walmart for household goods, toilet tissue, that kind of thing? He's like, yeah. I said, well, why would you do that? I don't understand the question. I said, why wouldn't you go to Walmart for copier paper, for printer paper, for toner cartridges, and while you're there, get your household goods? Because in that instance, now that mileage is deductible because the toilet tissue is incidental to a business trip.
mm,
Absolutely.
So it's
And
about how you
very
think
smart.
about it.
Absolutely.
I have a friend that lives in California. I said, we need to sit down and get some things together for an investment that we're working on. Now he's in California. I'm here. We have to travel anywhere anyway. I said, why not meet me in the Bahamas? Now the trip is deductible.
yeah.
Or at least every day that we meet to discuss business. So as entrepreneurs and business owners, we kind of have to shift our mindset to remember Uncle Sam is your business partner. You're not going to get rid of him completely. You're
So
just
now
not.
keep that in mind, Daria. Keep that in mind. These trips we keep making back and forth, these business trips now. We
That's
need
right.
to move off.
That's right.
Absolutely.
So we
Yeah.
discuss business every day we be together. Okay. Don't play. All right, Dr. Katrina, here we go. I'm like, all right, you taking notes, Daria?
Mindset shifted already.
I'm
Yeah,
telling
you have
you,
to
we
make that
already.
shift.
I'm like, you know what? Receipts.
Yeah. I mean, so when you're planning your family vacation, maybe plan a business trip and just bring your family along. Now you can't write off the family's expenses, but your portion can be, right?
Mhm.
So there are all these kinds of things that you want to be thinking about. Now a big one this year, and I just took advantage of this. I'm so geeked. I can't wait. Is the vehicles, right? Your cars.
Mhm.
I tell every entrepreneur you need to have at least 2 cars.
Yeah.
Even if one is a beater.
Yeah.
Because then you can write off all of the expenses of the other car, typically the more expensive one, right? Now you can do like me and my partners did this year. We got together and we decided we were going to buy EVs. We all bought Teslas. And the Model X weighs 6,000 pounds. So it's a complete commercial vehicle, regardless. And I can write off the cost of that car all in the first year, or I can drag it out over several years.
Wow. Look at that.
I'm telling you.
Nice.
All
And
this
that is so powerful.
record keeping. You have to keep good
and
record.
a lot of people.
I can't hear
Go
you,
ahead.
Keisha.
No, I was saying, go ahead. You were saying something.
I know. Yeah, I think at one point you were talking over each other, and I don't think you were hearing each other. The excitement of it all.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So there are all of these things that you can do to protect your income, not have to pay taxes on it, have a grand lifestyle in the process. But the first thing you're going to have to do before you can ever take advantage of these and some of the many other strategies that we discussed in my masterclass you have to get your taxes right. 70% of people I meet, their tax situation is trash.
Mm.
They haven't given it any attention. They're letting their mothers, sisters, brothers, cousin use TurboTax to file their stuff.
Right.
They don't know what's in them, what needs to be in them. They're using forms that are like the most audited form in the whole return, which is the Schedule C that you use for sole proprietorships in business. Yeah. Well, there's a strategy to even get rid of the Schedule C so that you don't have that place of that sore spot available to you. But the first thing you have to do is be compliant. Are you even compliant? Like, are your taxes being filed and being filed on time? And if you're not filing them on time, are you filing the extension and then filing them before the extension expires? The whole idea in this mindset is think of the money that we have to give Uncle Sam as shut up money.
Right.
It's shut up money. I give him just enough to shut him up so he doesn't bother me the rest of the year. But that I'm not giving him a penny more.
Right. Whatever's due to him, just give him that.
Exactly. Like, shh, don't say nothing. Yep. I gave you some money.
What's due, but not a penny more.
Love that.
Right. Love and then there's some things that we do to audit proof our return as well. So there's so many strategies. There's no way I could literally go into all of them here today.
Right.
Yeah.
Can you share some of the things that we could write off as network marketers besides cars and, you know, the vacations? Is there anything else like you could share? I guess like a general thing that we could write off.
Sure. There's more. There's a lot more. There are probably about 500 things that I could think of. When I sat down, I just started writing. One of the things that people don't realize you can write off, do you know that as a business owner, you can write off all of your healthcare expenses?
Wow.
So we are using Schedule A to itemize and write off some of our business expenses up to a certain amount. Well, as the owner of a business, one of the benefits can be that you pay your employees healthcare bills. Now, make sure that the only employees in this business is like you, your spouse, your kids, because what you do for one in the business, you have to do for everybody.
Yeah.
But you can use a HSA, a health savings account. You can just use an executive agreement that says that as president and CEO of XYZ company, we're going to pay you this amount of money. We're going to pay all your health bills. We're going to pay your mortgage for 12 months. We're going to pay your car. Whatever you want to go in there, you can put in there. Now, you don't want it to be too outrageous, because if you have to produce it, you don't want Uncle Sam to be like, really, did you really think? But there are ways around all of that. You paying for your kids' weddings, for their college. You know, the scenario we spoke of in the beginning, that laptop, if you just have a simple 1098T, that laptop is not deductible. But if you hire that child as your employee, now you can say, and we're going to pay all of their expenses related to college. And guess what? Now they're all deductible from your income dollar for dollar, not up to a certain pre-approved credited amount that the IRS said. So it makes a difference. So basically, if you can create the scenario of how it supports your business, it's deductible.
Yeah.
You just have to document it. Documentation beats conversation every day of the week. The IRS is not concerned about what you say. They're concerned about what you can document.
Which is
better than you can tell me.
Yeah, it's very important, because in court, that's what matters as well. It doesn't matter what you know, it matters what you can prove. So in that instance, what about grooming? Hair, nails, things like that. You have to look presentable, right?
Nope, haven't come up with that one yet.
Look, you know, I'm trying to.
Unless you're an esthetician or hair is your business, I haven't figured out how to just write off my hair and nails. I haven't figured that out.
Okay. Clothing, we could write those off. That's
now, if you have your company's logo put on your fingernails, they're deductible.
Oh, wow.
If you cut your logo or your emblem, your trademark into your haircut, your haircut is but it's got to somehow promote your business. Just like your clothes are not deductible unless they have your business logo on them. People make that mistake a lot of times, because we have to go on stage dressed a certain way, that our suits and our clothes, but they're not deductible unless they have your company's logo on it.
Ah, okay. So that's very good to know, because I thought it was, if it is required in your line of work, then it must be deductible, is what I thought, because
That's
I
what I thought
must
too.
dress this
Yeah.
way in this
Right.
profession.
Right.
Yep, so did I. I got dinged on that one.
Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Katrina, because let me tell you, that's definitely a myth. Now, can you tell us that is one of the things? Can you tell us some myths of things that people think
You can
that they can write off, but girl, no, you cannot write that off.
So I have a client who made, in the insurance industry, really, really good money. I mean, very good money. And I did his taxes for the first time 2 years ago. And I'm still trying to get him straight, because this dude buys groceries. Your groceries are not deductible unless you're taking them to the office and feeding them to people in the street. You can't write off your groceries. Right. You can't write off the money you give to your child's mom or dad, like that child support, that alimony, that $30 here, $50 there. It's not deductible. You have to use wisdom. Hire the person into your business to do something, and then pay them through the proper channels, so that one, you get the tax deductions, and even if they have to pay tax on the money, their income is so much lower that they may still get earned income credits, child tax credits, and it not cost them. But we can't just be peeling dollars off here and there, even in your charitable giving. Like if you're a person who drives around and gives money to the homeless, you can only, as a single person, say I gave $300. Anything beyond that, you have to have receipts for. So just run over to Walgreens, CVS, get a ton of gift cards, put $5 gift cards, and give those out, so that now you have documentation that goes with that giving.
Right. That makes sense.
Wow.
Right? Take a couple pictures of you and someone that you're giving money to, that money or those cards to. So you just have them in the file so that you can say, yeah, I've done this a lot of times. See, here are a couple instances. The whole idea is to audit proof yourself, audit proof your business, and then have the confidence knowing that if something should happen in that small percentage of the time that it does, you're set.
You're set.
Create the habits today so that when it happens tomorrow, it's going to happen to everybody at some point.
Wow.
Don't be afraid of it. It's just an opportunity to prove your expenses. So just have the proof.
Yeah, I love it. I love what you said. Auto proof yourself. That means you're constantly making sure that you have proof of all these transactions that you can write off. Just have it,
and not in your personal checking account. Stop commingling funds.
Right there.
If money comes from your business into your personal account, it needs to come through a payroll type of a channel or an owner's draw type of a situation that you've already designated. People are swiping congruently. It's a mess, and it costs you a lot for me to fix that. If you come to our office, we got all this stuff, and we got to figure out what's what. We highlighting what's personal and calling back and forth. Somebody has to sit down. I don't sit down, but somebody has to sit down and do that. So somebody's got to pay for that. When in actuality, from the very beginning, you could just have it already designated.
Yes.
So if there is nothing else that you leave with today, make sure you have some kind of app. You can go to easytaxtracker.com. Download the app to your phone and start. I know it's December, but January is coming and you're going to need it for next year also. Get in the habit of taking pictures of your receipts and quantifying them. The app actually, if you're driving, it'll say you drove 21 miles between here and there. Is it personal or business? So now you're not sitting there writing in a log, trying to figure it out, add it up. The app does everything. And at the end of the year, it spits out the reports that you take to your tax professional. And now you've saved yourself some money because you've saved your tax professional some time.
Yes.
That part.
Absolutely. I love that. That is wonderful.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes.
So there's so much available to us in the tax code, the home office deductions, the hiring your children so that they can then use their income to pay for their expenses, the multiple businesses, not just having one, the S Corp treatment for your LLC. There are so many strategies that are available, but it really depends on everyone's individual situation, what we employ. So you really need to get with a tax professional. Let them look at the last 3 years of your returns and figure out what is the story that you've been telling the IRS, so that if it doesn't make sense, you can fix it before they try to fix it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? We want to avoid any type of interaction with them. Ma'am?
I said, absolutely, it makes sense. I actually had to see the IRS myself in August. Was it August or September? I had to go and meet them. The same thing. Had to go show my ID, all that good stuff. But luckily, they were like, "We owe you more money." I was like, "Yes."
Yeah.
So same thing. I was like, "Thank God," because they were tripping.
But it's so important when you start looking at who do you choose as a tax preparer. You know, in this neighborhood where we are, we get so many clients because in the off season we're the only people still here.
Right.
Yeah.
Like these cats, they leave like the beginning of April. They don't show back up until January when it's time to start collecting big checks again.
That's true.
So during the year, all these people who need tax help, we're sitting here like, we got you. We got you. It's by appointment only, but we got you.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's been so important that we train a whole army of tax professionals, people who are not just preparing taxes, but care about what's going into your tax return. We like to call them tax advocates. People who are advocating for your situation to make sure that you get the best opportunity to legally minimize your tax liabilities and maximize those refunds that if you are entitled to them. So you need people who care, period.
That is awesome.
Absolutely. And that's a fact. Now, guys, if you look into the guide section, when Katrina was on here last time, we did have a guide that she gave us about tax preparation. So you guys definitely want to download that. And of course, if you need help with your taxes, make sure you reach out to Dr. Katrina Ferguson, because she is the woman, right? She is the woman in this industry. She knows what she's doing. Like she said, who's got time to read through 11 Bibles? She did, right? She did. And it's something that she enjoys. So don't try to do her job, right? She's a professional tax preparer. Let somebody that does taxes do your taxes.
Exactly.
I'm telling you, Dr. Katrina, how to
business taxes.
Dr. Katrina.
Yep. Especially business taxes.
Yes.
That's important.
Yes.
Because I mean, many times your local tax preparer doesn't know and understand business taxes because there are different deductions. They're dealing with the 9-to-5 employee, and they can't deduct nowhere near what a business owner can. So you want to go to someone that does business taxes,
especially in network marketing, because there's so much more you can write off being in this industry, and people just don't realize it. Like some of the things that you're doing all the time, you're spending money constantly, right, in this industry. A lot of times people don't even try to write stuff off. They're like, oh, I spent like $5,000, but you're not writing any of those things off. You have the receipts. Half the time they write in your email. So you have the receipts for the things that you purchased. So it's important that you, right, be able to be prepared, right? And that is how a lot of times these people are getting refunds. And people are like, well, dang, she made so-and-so amount of money. I thought only people that made under a certain amount got refunds. No, you have to know what you're doing when you prepare your taxes. That's how you get a refund. Dr. Katrina, tell the people, I mean, it's just interesting to me because that is a conception in people's mind, right? That only people that didn't really make a lot of money, those are the people that get refunds. They ain't make a lot of money. That's why they give them. Right?
That is definitely a myth.
That's why they got refunds.
Well, there's a reason why the rich get richer, right?
Yes.
Hello.
There are reasons why the rich get richer. If you got Amazon, who did $6 billion in sales and paid 0 taxes, Amazon. Y'all mad at a certain ex-president because he didn't pay taxes. Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Exactly. He knows how to play the game.
Exactly.
He knows how to play the game.
Yes.
That's what I learned from him.
You better believe it. Like, can you teach me that strategy is always my thing. Like, I don't have time to hate on you because I'm trying to do what you did. Like, teach me so we can be on the same boat because I want to be saving taxes too. I don't want to pay taxes either. So show me the strategy. And I'm going to follow that strategy because Derry and I are trying to save all the dollars. All the dollars. Okay.
You know it.
Yes, indeed, indeed. But it's fun. It's really a lot of fun to work with people, get to know them, and get to kind of look at their tax strategies and help them put together a plan. It's just a solid way to impact the lives of God's people.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Definitely, something humble to do. Definitely coming from a serving mentality. Because boy, let me tell you, definitely to even sit there and learn all that stuff. You know, like you have to have purpose for doing it. Some people just want to do it because they want a job and is it. But when you're doing it for a purpose, like listen, this is gonna help a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and at the end of the night, I feel good, right? I can sleep at night well, knowing what I do for a living is help people.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
When people knock on my door, they definitely will be helped.
Wow.
Dr. Katrina Ferguson, oh my goodness. Y'all know Dr. Katrina does not play. Whenever she comes on here, she always brings it. And Dr. Katrina, tell them how to get in contact with you.
Yeah, how can they find you?
Yes.
Well, you can actually go to our website at the letter Z, incometaxes.com. You can go directly there, or you can email me directly at Katrina with a K, like the hurricane, Katrina at easyincometaxes.com. That will work to reach out. If you Google me, you'll find me. We're there. There's a whole team of us. It's not just me. We've got over 120 years of experience in this industry combined. We've got offices all around the country. And especially if you want to create an additional stream of income, learning how to do taxes, you can literally pay your bills for the entire year in the first 4 months so that you can then go out, run, and build whatever you're building without worrying about money as an issue. So there are lots and lots of opportunities to really, really grow.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Thank you so much for being
My pleasure. I'm glad to be here.
Yes. You guys can see her name right down here by her picture. So if you guys want to look her up, that's how to spell her name. And oh my goodness, Dr. Katrina, you are such a blessing to us, and we appreciate you so much for coming on here each and every time. Like, this is a wonderful Tuesday. Darius' birthday is tomorrow. We are going to enjoy.
Don't make me start singing.
Right?
Happy birthday. Yes, happy birthday, sweetheart.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, we appreciate you so much.
Yeah. My pleasure. Love y'all.
We are so happy that you say yes.
Yes. And I'm so glad that you asked. It's been too long. It's been too long.
She always serves, guys. She's always ready to serve. And you know, we love bringing you guys the best.
The best.
So make sure, make sure you guys reach out to Dr. Katrina Ferguson. Make sure you get a tax professional to help you with your taxes, especially if you're in this industry, right? It's so important to remember that taxes for us is different than a job, right? Or a regular type of business, right? It's so many more things you can write off being in this business. So if you're online, working online, doing network, affiliate marketing, you're in the right place. And Dr. Katrina Ferguson is the right woman to help you.
Oh, absolutely. She got you. All right, guys. So with that said, we will see you next week. Thank you for coming. Put down your hearts, your love. Let us know that you got value. Oh, one more thing.
Yes. So, of course, we can't end this right without telling you guys.
Uh-oh.
If you have any questions, right? Put them right down here. We will make sure that Dr. Katrina gets those questions, right? So we can make sure you get your questions answered. And we're going to see you guys
next week.
Tuesday. Next Tuesday.
You have an amazing
All right,
training
bye.
ready for you. So we'll
Yeah.
see you next week. Have an amazing day, and we'll see you soon. Bye, everyone.
Bye.